Good afternoon, it's Amanda Ruiz from amandaruiz.co.uk. I'm also known as the ultimate door opener because I help people open doors to magazines, publications, TV studios, places they'd love to go. So why don't I help you today by doing a bit of a Sunday Papers news review. You don't need to be watching Sky News for this. I've made my own selection. So I'm going to be running you through that, and if you like what you see, please press the button down below to your left hand side and press share. Share away, share the love, and give me a thumbs up at the same time. So I'm going to kick off. I do tend to buy two newspapers. I buy The Sun. Yes, I do. Who else buys The Sun? And I also buy the Sunday Times. I just love these things. I do know the publishing house is the same. But nevertheless, the Sun, I love it for all the gossip and the simplicity of the stories. And the Sunday Times is brilliant, in-depth reporting. So here we are. Let's kick off. Sunday Times, that was just yesterday's. And the first thing that caught my eye was not royal guest Spacey sat on Queen's throne. Yes, very naughty boy, Kevin Spacey, breaching royal protocol. But actually here, I think this is a good story for two reasons. Revealed the woman paid 200 million. For God's sake, that is fantastic. Everybody's always talking about women not earning enough money. This lady here, one of Britain's most successful businesswomen, was paid a salary of almost 200 million last year by Bet365, the online bookmaker she founded in a portable office in Stoke-on-Trent car park in the year 2000. Now, come on, that is a bloody amazing story, so hats off to her. Okay, yes, I know that you do have gambling addicts out there who are suffering as a result of Bet365, but listen, she's a woman who started her business in a car park. Where else have you started your business? I used to run my business from the kitchen table, literally. My mum ran her business from the kitchen table. She then expanded out. We then had a huge warehouse and a factory and all the rest of it. It was brilliant. Where do you run your business from? I now run mine from home. It's fantastic. I can drop the kids off at school, then I can go and pick them up. But anyway, back to the Sunday Times. I am diverting. If you like what you see, please share. But what I also loved about this piece on the front page of the Sunday Times was Peter Evans, Enterprise editor. I can't see whether you can see that. Yes. Okay. So Peter Evans is going to have to now become my new best friend. I'm now going to start stalking him on Twitter, looking him up on LinkedIn, and doing all my usual, stalky activity that I do in order to get to know somebody and get on his radar. So when I want to pitch a client to him, or when I want to suggest a client goes and talks to him or pitches their story, they're not going to go in cold. So if you like the story that's written by Peter Evans, it's always recommended that you go to their Twitter account and just say, hey, love the story about women setting up business in car park. Amazing. Do you know what I mean? And I think actually there's more about it, full story on page 4. Let me get there. Hold on a seckie. Here we are. So it's Denise Coates and her brother. So there's a full story about it. So Peter Evans, watch out because I'm going to be coming to you. Right, so that's that. Next story here. This is in the Sun. It's a really interesting angle, okay? This is on the Sun yesterday on the 12th. So I flicked all the way through it and I was trying to find like a businessy angle, okay? So here it is in motoring, and it's this. It says, motoring journalists suffer from something known as launch paunch. I like that, because we spend all day driving on car launches, but aren't shy when we get to the sandwich buffet. Who ain't shy with the sandwich buffet? What's your favourite? Mine's tuna and cucumber. Over the years, discussing a spare tyre begins to take on a whole new meaning. But listen to this. If you're in the fitness industry, check this out. It says, but top personal trainer Callum Taylor has devised a workout for people who spend time behind the wheel. This is his plan for keeping yourself trim when on the road. Now, isn't that a great niche that Callum, he's decided he's noticed that there's a gap in the market for people, for all these drivers. I don't know how many millions of people throughout the UK are just driving for a living, or not just, are driving for a living, and they've got a bit of a pot belly. So he is going to be now niching down, and he's going to be the trainer of drivers. So that's a great niche. So what are you doing that you can niche down into? So who's your target audience? So here's quick tips. Are these turbo tricep dips, great for toning and strengthening the arms. So that's when you're opening the boot and you sit on the edge. You can do piston press ups. It tones the chest and back of arms. put the boot down, facing the boot, put your hands on it, da, da, da. So you're doing lots of activities actually in the car. Motor mountain climb is a fab way of improving coordination, blah, blah, blah. So if you have a niche, and if you are a fitness trainer, why don't you think about something else that, you know, people are getting a bit of a fat belly. What is it, the gamers? How about being a fitness expert for gamers? Think about that. Next one is, here we are, this is in Fabulous magazine. It's got the fabulous Alexandra Burke here, and it's, I've just gone to fashion. You can see all the items of clothing are all on a white cutout. If you have any items of clothing, or if you sell product, the best thing is, in order to make it print ready, try and get your products photographed just on a plain white background. So what you can do is, they don't like seeing things photographed with a cushion as a background or very busy print, because if you look here, nothing has got a background which is going to really confuse the eye, and then it's really easy for the editors just to drop in all the images. So a hint is, if you're selling any form of product, bracelets, hats, jewellery, you name it, photograph it on a white piece of card, get a light box or get some strong lighting, and then send it off to Mr. Clipping, or send it off to your niece who can do the clipping for you. My mum wanted a photograph of a stag, which my brother has some stags, well, has some deer and a stag. And we took, my niece took a photograph of it, and then my other niece cropped out all the other pictures of all the other deer, so she's literally just got one stag there, and it's a white background which will be able to be dropped in anywhere. So whatever your product, even if it's you, like for example this picture now of me with this lamp, bad, yes, so I can just get it all cropped out and I can have this as a new profile picture. Like that, okay? But I'd send it over to Mr. Clipping to get it clipped out, unless of course you've got somebody who's very techie in your family who can do all that cutting for you. Anyway, but going back to how they got into the press, I would bet my bottom dollar that the journalist here, Daisy Jordan, sent out a press call out, or she sent out some call outs on #journo requests saying, need glitzy glamour outerwear for Christmas parties. That's what they'd have done, and that would have been prepared, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks ago. So don't forget, magazines, even these ones here, do have a touch of a lead time. Then the final thing, which is really exciting, Lorna Bladen, congratulations, thank you for highlighting it to me as I was going through my papers yesterday. This is in the Sunday Times style. She means business. Now, we all mean business, us business ladies and men out there. This was written by Fleur Britton, okay? So again, that's somebody who I'm going to start stalking and getting to know and reading her articles, so I get onto her radar. So this is what she's talking about. This is a real business thing, and it's a piece called, Leading Women. I think you can read it there. It says, when it comes to role models, new research shows there is a lack of there's a lack of relatable female business owners. So who will inspire you? Fleur Britton meets the women changing the way we think and act in business through social enterprise. And then she talks about Nicola Mendelsohn, who gave a quote about the Facebook campaign that has been run, which is really interesting. And they also tied in with Enterprise Nation, and I'm a pro advisor for Enterprise Nation. We all love Enterprise Nation. Become a member. It only costs a cup of coffee a day to become a member, and you get some amazing webinars. But anyway, they launched a campaign back in May 2016, #SheMeansBusiness, and they wanted to train about 10,000 women, which they actually ended up doing. I've gone to some of their events and they are fantastic. So have a read there. And then, do you know what? The piece here is almost like an advert. It just read so beautifully and so well. So I think there must have been a press release concluding the end of the campaign, because I think it's a whole year or whatever. I think basically they've struck they've struck 10,000 people trained so far. And it's brilliant. So go to the Sunday Times and read it if you can. And Lorna Bladen, who is the Enterprise Nation's campaign manager, she was very proud that she was there. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to know how you can get your story into the press, just go to amandaruiz.co.uk/apply to apply for my 10-minute free Find Your Press Hook phone call, and I'll help you find an interesting angle, newsworthy angle to get into the press. And if you've liked this, please share it and share it. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Goodbye.